Hello, good morning. It's Saturday, February 6th. Wow, that sun rays right on my face. Welcome to this 30-minute session of yoga with Carrieyoga. We will be doing some balance poses today, a little bit of strengthening our glutes and our legs. So, again, be mindful of your body, recognize the difference between pain and a good stretch. Always come to child's pose if you feel like you need a break, a rest, reconnect with your breath, or you can come to a nice down dog, which is more active in the yoga pose. So anytime, come to those two poses during your practice. It's important to pay attention to your body, be aware of what those aches and pains are, and what needs to be stretched and opened up while we practice. Like I said, this will be a 30-minute session. So if you want to come to your mat, a nice seated position, however that looks for you, and we're just going to breathe for about 10 breaths. Just start to connect to that breath before we begin our practice. So we can easily flow through our yoga session today using our breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So go ahead and come to that mat. Or if you have a rug, a blanket, towel, anything you can use is great for yoga. So really accessible. Pretty much on my pajamas. So I always just have a blanket in case I want to sit on it. A lot of times my hamstrings are tight, so using a blanket, a pillow, or a block is helpful for me to reach my toes. So sit nice and tall, find length through the spine. Again, however you feel comfortable, whatever easy pose is good for you and your body. Go ahead and place your hands on your knees and start to feel the ground beneath you. Feel the earth supporting you, lifting you up, finding length, opening up through the heart, and just connecting with the breath. Again, as you try to quiet the noise in your mind, recognize all of those thoughts, recognize the noise, be aware of it, and let it go. Just as easily as it comes into our mind, allow it to leave just as easily. Perhaps a mantra of just inhale and exhale in your head will help quiet the noise and bring your attention to the present moment and the here and now on your mat. Focusing on the rise and the fall of the diaphragm. Focus on that breath, breathing in, filling up the belly, up through the diaphragm to the top of the lungs, and then exhaling it out in reverse. Stay here for 5 more breaths. And as you finish connecting with your breath, come to your intention for your practice today. What do you want to get out of being on your mat? It could be anything. And as you practice and your mind starts to wander and those thoughts start to come in, come back to that intention and remind yourself of why you were on your mat today. Go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. Before we begin our practice, we will take those 3 big, deep inhalations in through the nose and exhale everything out through the mouth. Inhale deeply. Exhale out. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Deep breath in. And exhale out. Slowly open the eyes. Bring your hands down to either side of your legs. Bring your attention back to the room. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale down. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale down one more time. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale down. Go ahead and just lift the shoulders up as you inhale to the ears. Drop them back on the exhale. Just really finding a stretch and mobility through the shoulders. Inhale, really lifting up to the ears. Exhale, let them drop down. One more time and we'll switch directions. Inhale, lift them up. Exhale, back. This time, inhale, bring them forward. And then drop. Inhale, bring them forward. Exhale, drop. 2 more times. Perfect. And just stretch the neck a little bit here. Go ahead and place your right hand, bringing the right ear to that shoulder. Finding a nice stretch here to the side of our neck. Be cognizant of the amount of pressure you're applying. If that doesn't feel good, just release your hand back down to the mat. Inhale, bring the neck to center. And as you exhale, drop it to the left. Again, feel free to use the left hand. Apply a little bit of pressure, finding a nice stretch on the right side of our neck. Inhale, come back to center. Just some seated cats and cows. Inhale, extend the arms out to a T. Bring them back behind your neck. Lightly clasping the hands, not putting too much pressure on the back of the neck. As you inhale, you're going to look up to the sky, to the ceiling, really trying to press those shoulder blades, making them kiss. And as you exhale, tuck the chin, bring the elbows together. Cat pose, rounding the spine. Inhale, we're opening up cow pose. Exhale, tuck the chin, elbows together around the spine, cat pose. Do that 5 more times using your own breath. Turn on the light. That helps a little bit. As you move through your cats and cows, really work on rounding the spine, stretching the neck as you gaze up. Doing nice integration poses before your practice just warms up your body. As you finish, just come back to that nice easy pose. Come on into tabletop position, all fours. So your knees are hip width distance apart here. The shoulders are directly over the wrists, pressing each of those finger points into the mat. Tops of the feet are pressed into the mat. And we're going to come into our tabletop cats and cows. So inhale, Really arching the back, gazing up at the sky. Exhale, tucking the chin, round the spine, gaze at the belly button. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Do that 3 more times using your own breath. When you're finished, just come to a nice flat back here. Extend your hands, reaching for the top of the mat. We're going to come into puppy pose. Go as far as you can get to the top of the mat and then sink your chest down. You can press your chin on the mat. If that's too uncomfortable, bring your forehead down. We're stretching out through our shoulders, through our spine here. One more breath. Inhale, come back into tabletop pose. Shoulders directly over those wrists. It's going to come into a modified side plank. So turning the back leg, your right leg behind you. You're going to lift up on the right hand. Extend the left leg. Left arm comes up. You want to make sure that you're pressing your left foot into the mat. We're just here, a modified side plank. This is a great way to build up your strength to come into a regular side plank. Making sure you're not slouched into that right arm, but that right arm is nice and straight. We lift that left leg and drop it down. One more breath. And as you exhale, place the left hand back on the mat. Bring both knees to the mat, and we're going to switch sides. So you're going to turn on that left leg behind you. Coming onto the left hand, right leg extends, right arm extends, pressing that right foot into the mat. Modified side plank. Then maybe lift the leg, making sure you're not slumping in, bending that left arm. One more breath. As you exhale, place that right hand back onto the mat, come back into tabletop. Exhale, sink, child's pose. So remember, child's pose can be knees together or knees as far wide as the mat, big toes touching, sink back, extend the arms, head down. Connect with the breath. Remember, this is a great pose to come to at any time during your practice. You can shift back and forth, opening up those hips a little bit more. 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, come to tabletop. Tuck the toes, send the hips up, downward facing dog. Pressing those heels into the mat. And here, just do what feels comfortable. Walk the dog, pedal the feet, swing your head, yes and no. Come up onto your tippy toes. Take off your jacket. And just finding a nice stretch in the back of the legs, down through the calves, stretching the spine, letting the jaw feel loose and soften. 2 more breaths. With your next inhale, go ahead and reach your left hand, maybe for the knee, for the shin, or that ankle, and just find a nice twist in down dog. One more breath. Inhale, place that hand back up to meet the other, and just switch sides. Bring the right hand to the left ankle, left shin, left knee, whatever feels comfortable to you, and then just twist. One more breath. Inhale, bring that right hand to meet the left. Go ahead and walk the hands to meet the feet, coming into a nice forward fold. Remember, you can keep a nice bend in the knee. Let your arms hang. The upper body is just kind of hinging over the hips. Clasp opposite elbows with opposite hands and just let that body sway back and forth. On the next inhale, bring those fingertips to the shins. Come to a nice flat back, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up one vertebrae at a time. Arms out to the side. Lifting them up. Gaze up at our thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Come into Dasana. Mountain pose, planting the feet, feeling the earth. Feeling the earth beneath us. Opening up through the heart, palms face out. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, swan dive over those hips, forward fold. Inhale, come to halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, come into our high plank, Dandasana. The feet together, make sure we're not sinking in and we're not lifting that butt in a nice straight line. Lift the right leg, find that core strength. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left. Exhale, lower. As you exhale, shift back into that downward facing dog. Inhale, come back into plank pose. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, left. Exhale, down. Inhale, exhale. Down dog. Again, inhale, plank pose. Exhale, down dog. Just adding a little bit of dynamic movement, making sure that we're in our right position. As we inhale, we should be able to easily shift into plank pose. And as we exhale, We should come back into downward facing dog without moving our hands or feet. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and bend the knees. Look to the hands. Step that right foot forward in between the hands. Feel free to, you need to use your hand to get your foot there. That's totally fine. Find your balance here. We're going to come into our crescent lunge. So when you're ready, you're really pushing into the ball of that back foot, the one that's extended. Press into the ball of the foot. Pressing the chest into the right knee. And when you're ready, inhale, the arms rise. Find something to gaze at. We call that our drishti, to help find your balance. Now, if you feel like your legs are too far apart, just come closer. Fix your gait. I definitely felt like mine were a little too far apart. One more breath. We're going to shift into warrior 3. So on your next breath, come up onto the right foot. Keep the left leg extended and hinge over that right hip. Now, sometimes it might be easier to come off of your mat to find balance. Again, focus on your drishti. We're focusing on our legs. Warrior 1, warrior 3. Keep that back foot flexed. Maybe it's easier to bring your hands to your hips. As you inhale, try not to let that left foot drop like I just did. Inhale, bring the knee up. Maybe you can reach for the ceiling. Keep the foot flexed. One more breath. We're going to come back into that crescent lunge. So inhale, find length. Exhale, bring that left leg back. Come onto the ball of the foot. High crescent lunge. One more breath. Exhale, bring the hands down to meet the foot. Bring the right leg back, plank pose. Let's come through our vinyasa. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, tuck the elbows. Lower down. Inhale to your back bend, baby cobra, cobra or up dog. Turn the head, stretching the neck. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come to tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. So reconnect with your breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. We're just going to switch sides. Bend the knees, look to the hands. Step your left foot forward. Press your chest into that left knee. You need to bring your foot in a little bit more before we come into our high crescent pose. Once you feel grounded into that left foot and you're pressing into the ball of that right foot, inhale, arms rise. Again, find that focal point, find that drishti. To find your balance, really press into the ball of that back foot. Your shoulders start to get tired, remember, come into cactus arms, turning pinky fingers in. One more breath here. We're going to come into that warrior three. Again, feel free to come off your mat if that helps. Inhale, find length, push up off that right leg. Hinging over the left hip. Keeping that back foot flexed. Warrior three. Two more breaths. As you inhale, don't drop that right leg. Bring the right knee up. Maybe bring your hands to your hips. Or keep them lifted. Really focusing on that balance today. These are poses I generally avoid, so I'm trying to do more poses that I avoid. One more breath. Inhale, and as you exhale, bring that right leg back, coming into our high crescent lunge. Pressing into the ball of that right foot again. Opening up through the heart, finding length through the fingertips. One more breath. Inhale and exhale, bring the hands down to meet that left foot. Swing the left foot back, come into plank pose, go through your vinyasa, or just come to down dog. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes. Down dog. Go ahead and drop to the knees. Come into a nice child's pose. Bring the head down to the mat. Massage that third eye into the earth. Inhale, find length through the fingertips. As you exhale, walk the hands to the left side of the body, bringing the right hand on top of the left, keeping our head down. Just stretching our side body. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, switch sides, walk to the right side of the body, placing the left hand on the right hand. Left hand on the right hand, head down. Inhale, come back to center. That same inhale, come up to tabletop position. Again, we're going to work on that core strength and balance. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, extend the right leg back. So you can certainly stay here, or you can add some dynamic movement by bringing the elbow to the knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bring that knee to the elbow. Do that 5 more times on this side, or staying here is perfectly great. Perfectly well. Or adding that movement, really working on our core strength and balance. And when you finish with your 5, just drop the knee and hand back down to the mat. Switching sides. Inhale the right arm forward. Extend the left leg back. Again, staying here, finding your balance, finding your G, or add some movement. Inhale, find length. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. 5 more times. And when you're finished, just place the hand and knee back down to the mat. Sink back into that quick child's pose. Reconnect with the breath. Check in with your body. Inhale, push yourself up. So you're seated on your heels. Jeez, oh no. Hopefully you guys have been able to see me. Drop onto your right hip and then just come to a nice seated position. Bring the soles of your feet together, coming into Butterfly Baddha Konasana. Again, bringing the soles of your feet closer to your sitting bones will be a little bit more challenging. Taking them away from your sitting bones is more of a restorative butterfly pose. Inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale, just hinge over, allowing the hands to come down, bringing the head down. Feeling a nice stretch in our lower back. We walk the hands to the right. Walk them back to the center. And then walk them over to the left. Inhale, walk them back to center. Push yourself up using your hands. Extend your legs out in front of you. Feel free to use your blanket, your block to kind of push your hips forward here. Also put the blanket under your hamstrings if they're a little tight. Keep a little bend in the knee. We're just going to stretch those hamstrings. So inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hinge over those hips, reaching for the ankles, the feet, the toes. Pushing the heart forward. Feeling a nice stretch in the back of our legs. One more breath. And as you inhale, just bring yourself back up to a nice seated position. Place the feet on the mat, bend the knees. Inhale, lengthen the arms. And as you exhale, use that core. Come down about halfway. Use your breath. Strengthen through the core. Inhale, come back up. Inhale, find length to the fingertips. As you exhale, don't come all the way back. Go about halfway. Really work that core. Making sure you're breathing and not holding your breath. Inhale, come back up. We'll do this one more time. Exhale, go down a little bit farther. Engaging those core muscles. Keeping the arms extended. You might be shaky and quaky, that's okay. Inhale, come back up. I certainly was. And then last time, inhale, find length. Exhale, roll down to a nice flat back on your mat. Keep the knees bent, feet are drawn closer up to your sitting bones. Come into bridge pose. Arms are down by your side, palms face down. And when you're ready, with the exhale, you will lift those hips up to the ceiling. And stay here for 10 breaths, making sure your head is in line with your spine. You're not moving your neck. Pressing each toe point, heel. Most of your weight should be on your shoulders. Keep those hips lifted. Don't let them drop. Keep them lifted up. Really engage the glutes. Try to pretend that block is being held between the quads. So you're engaging those muscles in this pose. 5 more breaths. Last 2. And as you inhale, go ahead and release back down to the mat. So each vertebrae is touching the mat. Walk your feet to the outside edges of your mat. Bring the knees together and just windshield wiper the legs. Bringing the knees down to the mat, releasing any tension from the spine. Inhale, bring the knees to the chest. Wrap your arms, give yourself a nice hug. Roll back and forth, massaging that lower back. Come into our supine twist. Allow the arms to come out to a T. Extend the left leg down onto the mat and allow the right leg to drop over. Gazing over our right shoulder. We're coming down to our final poses of our practice. Making sure our shoulder blades are touching the mat. Maybe using the left hand to reach that knee closer to the ground, if it feels comfortable and good. If not, don't do it. 2 more breaths. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. Arms are still extended out to a T. Drop the right leg this time onto the mat and allow that left knee to come over. Gazing over our left shoulder. Again, maybe using that right hand to apply a little bit of pressure to bring that knee closer to the ground. Feel a nice stretch on the outside of our hip. One more breath. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. Wrap your arms around them. This time, lift your chin, bring it to the knees. Rock back and forth on that spine. As we come to our final pose, Shavasana, go ahead and extend your body onto the mat. Let the ankles and feet splay open. Tuck the shoulder blades, arms to the side, palms face up. Allowing your body to melt into the mat through the earth. Giving your body some time to rest and rejuvenate. Allow the muscles to release. Let each body part melt. Let go of the breath. And just simply allow your body to be Shavasana. Go ahead and start to bring movement back to the body, wiggling the toes and the fingers, circling the wrists, circling out the ankles. Reconnect with the breath, breathing normally. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, point and flex the toe. Nice big body stretch. Go ahead and turn to the favorite side of your body, right or left. Cradle your head in your arm, keeping your eyes closed. Continue that breath. Again, keeping the eyes closed, push yourself up to a nice seated position, however that looks for you. Sitting up nice and tall, bringing the hands to heart center. As we close our practice today, it's important to stay in Shavasana for at least a minute. Just with any exercise, you want to allow your body time to rejuvenate, time to rest. So take that time for yourself, whether it's a minute or longer. Stay in Shavasana as long as you choose. This is your time. Thank you for showing up on your mat today. Thank you for struggling well with me as we challenged ourselves in balanced poses. I know that's something I need to work on. So thank you. In deepest gratitude, namaste. Ooh, that's a pretty hairdo. All right, thank you so much for logging on. We will have another couple of sessions of virtual yoga in February. So I think the next one is going to be on February 20th. But you can catch these all on YouTube anytime on our Boulder Crest Foundation YouTube channel or on Facebook. So thanks so much. Flow on, yogis.